Hey guys, this is two-time All-Star Andrew Bailey, and you're listening to Gym on Base.
Welcome back to another episode of the Gym on Base show. For today's very special guest, we're here with pitching coach Andrew Bailey. And how's it going today? Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. A little overcast day, a little cold with some rain in the forecast, but excited for tonight's game.
Going to be a good game between the Brewers. I was curious about you, though. You have 3 kids, right? Boy and 2 daughters. So are they into sports, or how do you juggle this and family life?
Yeah, well, first off, my wife's a saint. We live in Connecticut, so quite a ways away from here. But she handles everything. Teddy, my 11-year-old, is super into theater, kind of the arts, coloring, drawing. She's actually got her opening night of Snow White tonight, so obviously won't be there. But she's super excited. And my son Matthew, is all sports. Soccer, basketball, baseball, and then my 3-year-old is kind of just learning the alphabet, I guess you could say. But no, they're amazing. Love being a father. Love them to pieces. And we try and spend as much time we can during the summer, or some road trips here and there. And fortunately, my wife can swing. Kind of flying all over the country. Milwaukee, Detroit, Pittsburgh this summer. So kind of more the East Coast or Central teams.
Well, that's got to be tough, at least hopefully they're videotaping it, right? Their performance tonight, or?
I hope so. I know they're not live streaming it, but I don't know if they live stream 11-year-old plays. But no, it's I'll get pictures and videos, of course. And I think that's the hardest part of what we do for a living, is kind of the reality of things. And very fortunate to have a nice off season with them, and go home and be the best dad I can, and support them and do what I love, and still chasing my dreams of World Series titles.
Well, we're talking about your kids. One thing that I thought was really cool about you too, I noticed, is you meet with kids before games, right? With like cerebral palsy. Is that a foundation you're with, or how'd you get involved with that?
Yeah, so my 11-year-old Teddy was born with CP. Had a diagnosis at around 18 months. So numerous surgeries. I think it's probably 7 surgeries now. She's in 4th grade. There's a lot of work that my wife and I do, for other families with kids with special needs, and using this spotlight, so to say, or my job and my role, and the ability to be fortunate to have this kind of pedestal, so to say, to be able to support other families and children going through similar circumstances, and just getting to know them. I've always tried to be involved in the areas in which I'm, working or playing, and being in the Bay. There's so many foundations and children that we can touch and just support, and having them out for batting practice or leaving them tickets is an easy thing for me to do. And social media is amazing, and we'll find local families to have them out. And I'm actually meeting with husband and wife have their own charity here in the Bay for kids with disabilities over the weekend. So I'm excited to get them here and meet with them, and we're going to talk about how we can do bigger and better things here at the stadium, and have the Giants partner up as well.
Is there any foundations we can put in the episode bio or get the word out for right now? Or
I also work with a foundation. The Strike 3 Foundation is a foundation that was born from one of my best friends, Craig Breslow, who's actually the current AGM of the Cubs. We were former teammates, and we're really close friends, and we work together on his foundation, the Strike 3 Foundation, and that benefits, raises awareness, and raises funds for kids with pediatric cancer. So my wife and I, in terms of the CP world, we've started our own foundation. It's not really out yet, though. We're trying to get all the bells and whistles and all the forms and everything signed, and the website built and that kind of stuff. But I'll definitely let you know and keep you posted on how your subscribers and listeners can help in future events.
Yeah, it's great. I'll make sure to do that. And one thing I thought was interesting too about you is you're a 2-time All-Star, and it was the first 2 years of your career, so you came in with a bang.
Yeah, I was came in hot, I guess you could say, and I miss playing a ton. Loved my time in the Bay Area, especially Oakland, playing there, and it's such a unique fan base and experience for me. I loved it, living out in the East Bay, and being able to take a drive in to Oakland and the stadium and all the history there, and playing for such a rich tradition organization, and having success early on, and ultimately, you kind of always chase that feeling, and battling my fair share of injuries throughout my career, unfortunately, Never got back to that kind of level, but definitely enjoyed it. I left it all out on the field and can look back, and be proud of what I accomplished.
Well, you also won Rookie of the Year, so do you have a good like display room, or how do you kind of hang it up?
Well, my wife will kill me for this one, but we've recently moved back east to Connecticut. We were in Southern California for just about 3 years, so I had a nice office there when I got into coaching where I could do all my off-season work. And now we're back east and everything's still in boxes. But I hopefully plan on hanging it up in my office at some point in time when we get through all the boxes and everything that needs to be unpacked. But definitely proud of that. But for me, I mean, I'm honestly more proud of the recent accomplishments here. There's a picture hanging in the clubhouse of Alex Cobb and I shaking hands after his complete game, shutout the other day here, last homestand. And, for me, I'm a big believer of what have you done recently, right? Like that everyone likes to talk about my playing career and 2009 and 10 and being a part of a championship team in Boston. But for me, it's like if you can't change those pictures or those awards very frequently, you're really not doing anything. So for me, I'm more proud of that picture hanging up currently because that's kind of in the past, and I look forward to bigger and better moments.
Well, who are you away from the game then? Like, how do you escape? I know you're a dad. You probably got some FaceTimes to get to. What are your hobbies away from baseball?
Baseball. No, off season, man, I love my kids. I try and be the best dad I can. I believe that you don't have to be present to be the best dad. I think trying to lead by example of still trying to fulfill my dreams and accomplishments. I can only show them the way. But, I coach. I was the assistant coach of my son's 8-year-old basketball team. So that was a lot of fun for me. I enjoy kind of like spending time with my wife, training, walking the dog. Obviously, I still have a full-time job in the off season, so it's pretty hectic from the acquisition side of things, or just staying in contact with our players and making sure programs are up to speed and all that kind of stuff. So off season's really not that slow, but I went to the Warriors game last night. That was fun. Oh, nice, awesome. Yeah. So I mean, sports, man. I love sports, but most importantly, I love spending time with family and friends in the off season, and just enjoy being a father.
Well, I'll get on the Jumbotron cameras. They showed DeVito and Joe Montana. They didn't show Andrew Bailey, though.
No, and Logan Webb and Brandon Crawford were there. And I don't know how they didn't get on that Jumbotron, but no, that was an amazing game. They do a great job over there, and it was my first time at the Chase Center. It was a beautiful arena, and what a great W for the Warriors.
Well, who were your favorite players or teams growing up as a young fan? And have you met any of those people? Or
Yeah, I mean, so I grew up right outside of Philadelphia, in New Jersey, on the Jersey side. So obviously like the '93 Phillies, the early '90s, late '80s Phillies. You had your, Darren Dalton, Lenny Dykstra, Schmidt, and I guess I was a little bit, young then, but Kurt Schilling and Mitch Williams, and I remember Kevin Stocker and Pete Engavilla. So like the Philly heroes, and Randall Cunningham, and all the Eagles teams. So and of course the Legion of Doom, Eric Lindros, Renberg, and Leclerc on the hockey side of things. But for me, just growing up a Philly sports fan, love that city. The fan base is hard for sure, and I played in Philly, so I know it. But meeting those guys, I don't think haven't been fortunate enough to meet any of my real like true heroes growing up. Greg Maddoxes of the world. Watching all the NL East games growing up. But no, I haven't, but been privileged to do a lot of other things.
well, you said you're kind of from by New Jersey area. So are you a Bruce Springsteen guy? Or
Yeah, of course. I grew up in South Jersey. I would say more Bon Jovi than Bruce Springsteen, but that's just me.
you got good taste then,
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, my college years listening to Bon Jovi is those are throwbacks.
Have you seen them live though? Or
I have not. No, I actually a funny story. I used to sell Christmas trees at a flower shop during the winters when I was in college, and then during my minor leagues. And Bon Jovi used to, I don't know if he still does, but he used to own the Philadelphia Soul. And the tree stand that I was working was right over the bridge from Philly, and John Bon Jovi came and got a tree, and it was like I think I got a picture with. I was pretty young, but that was a funny story talking about Bon Jovi for sure.
Well, we got to get that on your social media account.
Yeah. Well, I got to find the picture at some point, but yeah, no, that was a funny story just talking about, Philly sports and entertainers.
Well, Andrew, it's really nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show. I had fun talking with you, and looking forward to seeing you around the rest of the year.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Anytime.